How are you, Brent?
Hey, Rich, I'm great. Listen, you guys, you and the producers, you deserve, oh, man, a pat on the back. I'm so proud of you guys for trying to help resurrect little Jimmy Brockmire's career. We all know the problems. We all know the problems that he had in the past. But if anybody can help Brockmire, it's you, Rich. And I know Dan Patrick, he's going to weigh in with him, too. I hear that Bobby Costa is going to open up this season. Man, it's just great when you reach down to help such a troubled broadcaster as Brockmire.
Yeah, well, he says that you stole all the Tostitos from him, Brent. Is that true, or what do you know from back in the day?
I got paid. I got paid by a company to drop the name. I got free Tostitos for a week. What are you talking about?
Okay.
What's he talking about? You know?
All right.
The man's delusional. We know he's got mental problems to break down. You know, his wife was having all those affairs and he lost it, and so he was sent to broadcasting purgatory. You know, Rich, it's really interesting because as we started VSiN here in Las Vegas, and Brockmire was having trouble getting a job, so he called our executives and. You know, I got to be perfectly honest. Don't tell anybody this, but we always talk to prospective announcers just to get an idea. Do they really know anything about sports gambling, or are they just pretending? And I got to tell you, our general manager, he interviewed Brockmire and asked him about a 3-team parlay, and our boy Jimmy. He thought that was 2 hookers with him in a Morristown hotel room. I'm telling you, Jesus, we would have loved to help him out, Rich, but
wow,
but we just can't.
Okay,
listen, I wish him the best.
Okay.
I hope he. You know, once he gets through a couple of games, people send me tapes. You know, I review play-by-play tapes, and maybe I can help him move out of Morristown. But, hey, what about the draft next week? You guys at the NFL Network, you got all the latest on it. You can bet on it in Nevada. We got the Raiders. I was down at their new ticket office here yesterday. You know, they're going to go vertical with the stadium.
What do you mean?
I said, make sure you got a spot for Rich Eisen and the boys when they come in here for a prime-time game. Going to be great.
What do you mean by going vertical? What do you mean?
That means that they're going to start to put the steel up next week, okay? The foundation is ready.
Okay.
So when you go vertical on a project, that's when the construction starts to go upward.
Got it.
Out of the hole.
Okay.
And the steel has been delivered, and we're ready to go, baby. We are ready to go.
This is going to happen. I can't believe it.
It is. It is, Rich. It really is going to happen.
Have you heard that the league has actually considered bringing the draft to Vegas? Have you heard that?
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, I've got a story in a Review Journal about it tomorrow. And between you and me, and again, keep this to yourself. I know you're great at this, but the league has already been around town looking at prospective sites. Obviously, they got the new stadium. We know that. We know that stadium will host the Super Bowl in the future. But it's kind of a big thing we'll see how the draft works out with the Cowboys this week down in Arlington. T-Mobile, a little more intimate, but this is strictly between you and me. They're taking a look at Fremont Street, okay? Okay, think about that for a big display down. I'm marching bands. I'm telling you. Now, Vegas will break the record for having fun at a draft party.
So you're saying outdoors on Fremont Street?
Yes, lad. Yes, lad. Remember, there's a cover over that street now.
Okay, that's right. Right.
And we'll send those cheerleaders on that zip line right down overhead. Maybe that chick from the USA Today, maybe she'll take a ride in that, in that zip line.
Oh, Brent.
How are you, my friend?
You are on fire right now. Brent Musburger here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay. So So give me the temperature of hockey in that town right now, Brent. This is and give me where in the history of sports. I'm serious. Have we seen a story like this one, Brent?
I don't think we've ever seen it because, listen, we have got – I was just checking some of the numbers before the season started, and I found globally that you could get as much as 20,000 to 1 on the Vegas Golden Knights to win the Stanley Cup And now you can only get about 5 to 1, 4.5 to 1. It is an incredible story. And if you had said to me, if you and I had a conversation before the start of this season, I would have said, Vegas, not really a hockey town, Rich. I don't know how they're going to do. They have exploded. Everywhere you go in this city now, you see shirts or hats or T-shirts. The logo, last I checked, was the best-selling logo in the National Hockey League. It's a great logo. Even as they went over to Los Angeles for 2 games, in which they won both, of course, and swept away the Kings, there were thousands of people. I mean, in excess of 1,000, sending the team off on its way on the bus to go to the airport. It is a remarkable, remarkable story. The thing you need when you compete, obviously, you've got to start with that goaltender, Marc-Andre Fleury, who won 3 Stanley Cups while he was with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He anchors this team. But the general manager, McPhee, and the scouts, Rich, did an outstanding job of assessing where hockey is headed today. In my era, give me a 6'2", 6'3" defenseman, big burly guy. Let's have some enforcers back there. The league has changed dramatically. They're featuring speed, much more like European hockey used to be a decade or so ago. And the Vegas Golden Knights have 4 lines that they use regularly on the ice. Coach Gallant gets along so well with the players, and he's got veteran leadership inside the dressing room. So it has been a remarkable sports story. Now, make no mistake, the San Jose Sharks are going to be better competition for them than the Kings wound up being. It's going to be a tough series. They, too, have a great home ice advantage up there on the Shark Tank. It's going to be the battle of 2 very vocal crowds going forward. The National Hockey League does an interesting thing when series ends early and the next match is set. They always wait for the round to be over. So the Golden Knights and the Sharks have got a lot of time off. I'm assuming they'll start next Thursday or Friday with game 1 of this series. And so it's going to be very interesting. But to your point, Rich, this town has the sad story, the horrible shooting of October 1st, and the Knights were born that month, and they kind of brought this city back together. It was a rallying cry that Las Vegas badly needed. The Golden Knights on opening night treated the victims with such great respect, and the first responders walked out. They brought individual hockey players from the Golden Knights out to the center of the ice. There wasn't a dry eye in the house. And the city's gone forward with this team. And I'm assuming that they're also going to embrace the Raiders because I asked so many questions about them, and I was down at their ticket office, and it's been busy the last 3 days. People in there with their seat license money, and they want to be there when the new arena opens up in 2020. And so this is a city that I think a lot of people didn't think would become a huge sports city. But we've got a community here. You can't rally around a slot machine. That just doesn't work, okay? But you give them a couple of sports teams, the Vegas basketball team when they were rolling under Tarkanian, now the hockey team, and the Raiders will be next. This is a great, great sports city.
Couple more minutes here with Brent Musburger. VSiN is his spot for My Guys in the Desert every single day from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern, 3 to 5 locally there in Las Vegas, Nevada. What do you think is going to happen at the top of this draft, Brent? What do you think should happen? What do you think is going to happen here?
Rich, all the talk lately is about the quarterbacks, and I'm always suspicious of the evaluation of quarterbacks because I think that the league makes more mistakes than they get right. If you go back historically and look at the quarterbacks who've been taken in the first round or the third round. Let me just throw Russell Wilson out, okay? I believe the Seahawks got him in the 3rd round, if memory serves me correct.
Yes,
I had covered him in Wisconsin. I believe that they put too much focus on quarterbacks at the combine and some of the interviews, and they don't go back and look at tapes. So I would think that if I had the first pick in the draft, I've got to get somebody who I think is going to help me immediately. And i.e., there are some defensive players out there, and Saquon Barkley looks like the best all-around offensive player, the great Penn State running back. But Rich, it sounds like it's going to be quarterback roulette again. Judging from now, I don't know enough to do a mock draft or anything like that, but I do read the fellows at NFL.com. I go over there. I listen to your guys on the NFL Network. I go to ESPN. I'll go to the CBS. I'll check guys with I think have got credibility, and everything I'm reading and hearing is that there's going to be a run on these quarterbacks right away. And I just think that, and here I am in Las Vegas, I think it's a huge gamble.
Nice.
Chubb, the defensive end from North Carolina State, I would certainly consider him. Fitzpatrick's a great defensive back. I covered him at Alabama. James is a good safety coming out of Florida State, but he missed a year with a bad injury. Roquan Smith, the linebacker at Georgia. Those are the guys that I would move to plug in. I honestly, at the top, I would follow the Eagles' roadmap to the Super Bowl. They used free agency so well last year, and then they plugged in for a defensive player to help them out defensively. I just find that quarterbacks are a huge, huge gamble, but I think we're headed in that direction.
Brent, love the time. Really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm more than happy to do a home and home. I'm more than happy to always return the favor. You're the best. Is there anything I could say to Jim? It's Brockmire, by the way. Is there anything I could do to broker that peace, Brent?
Okay. Listen, geez, I'm sorry. Gosh darn, I thought it was Brockmire. Anyway, listen, wish him the best.
Okay.
With the Frackers at Morristown. Tell him to send me the tape and make sure he doesn't sound like a bad cartoon character on it. Okay,
I'll do that.
And maybe I can help him move up the chain. We're gonna have a new stadium and a new nickname here in Las Vegas for our minor league team next year, and maybe I can help the rascal out. I wish him the best. He's so delusional, and listen, let him go at it. For all the Tostitos, baby.
You're the best, Brent. Take care. We'll chat soon.
Right,
okay, there's Brent Musburger. You're on the Rich Eisen Show. Coming in hot.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.